Yo, what's up guys, Nanjiroh here. Alright, so this is going to be a fairly quick video for week 5. Now, week 5, I I actually received a ton of questions from you guys. I'm really excited about this. I'm also really excited that week 4 of Us Nanjiroh got almost 30 views. Now this is actually pretty insane because I believe I only have one other video that's received like that many views. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the questions. Again, I'm going to try to speed this part up a little bit. I do I do have something that I'm going to be doing in an hour. I'm going to be watching some anime with some friends. Alright, so we're going to start with the first one. Have decks lost their identity? No, decks have not lost their identity. However, people's perception of them has caused them to sort of like lose their identity, in the sense of 3 out of 7 classes use about the same 10 or so cards, maybe a little bit more, and that you use 3 Goblin Leader, 3 Alice, 3 Faria, 3 Grimnir, and then something else, for about like 20 or so cards that are all like relatively the same. Well, I say it's about 20, but I think it's actually like 15, something like that. But basically, almost half of the deck will kind of like resemble each other to an extent. However, that's only the early game. When you get to later stages of the game, then they start to see like differences in each of the decks and what they do. So no, it's not that decks have like lost their identity, because like there's still quite a few decks that they either don't use neutrals at all, or they use different neutrals. In particular, that of both Dragon as well as Mid-Range Shadow. Like Mid-Range Shadow only I think uses like 2 neutrals or 3 or something like that, and that either Unico or Lyriel. And a lot of these lists for Mid-Range Shadow, they don't even use Grimnirs anymore. And then for Dragon only uses the high end neutrals. They don't use Goblin Leader. They usually don't use Alice, and they usually don't use like Actress Fairy or anything like that. Instead, they use Israfel, they use Bahamut, then they use Zeus. On to the next question. Why does Twitch chat experience always feel bad unless it's a small community? The reason why it feels bad when it's a bigger community is because when it's a bigger community, you get a lot of like memers who all they do is meme. They don't actually like offer any like actual contributions. You also get people who are like salty and kind of toxic. Whereas like with the small community, when everyone kind of knows each other, it's a lot easier to kind of like keep track of in order to keep track of that thing and kind of like monitor it and kind of like weed out any like toxicity as it sprouts. Now, additionally, I'm also a moderator in quite a few different channels, or in quite a few different Twitch channels. And usually, when I see this shit, I usually just kind of like time the person out if they're being like too crazy or anything like that, and then sometimes I'll go ahead and ban them. But yeah, with bigger communities, you tend to get a lot more like salty / like toxic people. Is it wrong to date girls in a dungeon? No, it's not wrong to date girls in a dungeon. Additionally, for those who don't know, that's actually an anime. It's actually a really good anime. I do recommend that you watch it. What do you think about the current Hedgehog deck? Alright, so for the current Hedgehog deck, I'm kind of like on the fence. I think that the deck is still missing a few pieces before it can get really good. And I know a lot of people have lost faith in Control Sword as a whole, although I do think Control Sword in and of itself is still very, very good. And I will be playing around with the deck later this week in order to try to like make some magic happen with the deck. Azazika asks, why is Forte the best Dragon card? Forte is the best Dragon card because Forte has been iconic since the game's inception. Like, Forte is a card that you always have to be wary of whenever you're at like 5 HP, because when you see that, you're just like, oh my god, I'm dead to Forte. And then they have the Forte, you're just like, oh my god. Additionally, I want to say like maybe like 90% of the actual like Dragon mains who actually like main the class, the majority of these guys all use Forte as their leader over Rowan, because we do not acknowledge Rowan as a true Dragoncraft leader. We acknowledge Forte. Shoutouts to Gakba for me forgetting to shout him out in week 1/2 because at the time I wasn't actually like listing who asked me what, so that way I can go ahead and like give him credit for asking me the question. But again, shout outs to him because he does have some pretty funny questions overall, and he's a pretty good friend. Kiri asks, "Can I really ask anything?" Yes, you can really ask me anything. I'm pretty sure that like since this started, there's only been exactly 3 questions I haven't answered, and for the most part, usually if I don't answer a question, I usually go and tell you why I don't answer a question. However, even for some of the inappropriate, well, I say inappropriate, but like I use that term very, very loosely. Some of the inappropriate questions, such as like when I got asked one week, "Oh, what color is your underwear?" I usually do try to humor those and I kind of like indulge you, and I'll go ahead and try to make some compromises and how I choose to answer the question. So for the most part, yes, I will in fact answer like 99% of like of any question that you guys ask me. It doesn't have to be about Shadowverse. It can be about anything. It can be about anything whatsoever. Like, I'm pretty knowledgeable for the most part, so generally, if I can answer the question, I'm going to answer the question. If I can't, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I can't, and then if I know why I can't, I'll go ahead and tell you why I can't. People come to you for advice. Who and what subject do you go to for advice when you need some? Okay, so I actually go to you guys, my viewers, for advice when I need some, because a lot of you watch my videos and actually know most of you by name. However, I don't actually know all of you by name. However, if you guys come to me with some feedback about, "Oh, well, I didn't like that you did this," or "I would have liked it more if you did this," I'll go ahead and I'll usually try to ask you for feedback on why you would have liked if I did this, or why you didn't like that I did something else. And I usually also go to you guys for feedback on, "Oh, well, what kind of music will you guys like to listen to when I go ahead and play, like I go ahead and provide some like background music for you guys," just because like for my stuff, I listen to, well, what I listen to doesn't actually matter, but the point is that like it's not quite suitable for all of these like informative videos I do. If I were to do more videos that like didn't have commentary, that I'd probably play a lot more of my music, but for the most part, I'm usually gonna provide commentary just because I play out these turns a lot differently than what most people would do. Additionally, other people I go to for advice, I actually go to Gumi at ZSN for advice a lot, just because like she and I we have like similar backgrounds. We've both been playing card games for almost like 20 years for almost 20 years, both of us in total, and we also have like the same backgrounds in what card games we've played. I think the only game that she and I don't have in common for playing is Wixos, I believe. And that's only just because I still have like no idea what that game is, but yeah. She's also pretty knowledgeable, and most times we found that at the two of us, we usually have the same mindset about things. So usually when one of us feels one way about a subject or a topic or something like that, the other one usually feels the same way too, without really having to think about it or be like coerced or anything like that. So that's really cool. Additionally, I do go to the majority of the Fateverse as well as other Discords I'm a part of for advice. Sometimes, like I know, for example, I'll come to you guys and I'll ask you, "Oh, would you like for me to put some of these things in a playlist? Would you like for me to maybe play different music?" Additionally, quick now that on the subject of music, I would like it if you guys go ahead and like send me some like music that you would like me to play as like background music, because I know that in a few of my videos that I kind of just like cycle through the same like not even 4 or 5, because that's like super generous. I kind of like cycle through the same like 3 songs or something like that, and I know a few of you guys probably would like to hear something different. Sorry about that. What pre-expansion predictions have already been proven wrong or right? Alright, so this actually is going to be where I stop off for this week, I believe. But what predictions? Well, for here, I actually forgot to ask him if he meant like predictions that I've made or predictions that the community has made. I'm pretty sure he means predictions that I've made, just because I do tend to get a lot of these predictions correct. The big one that I was correct about is Hero of Antiquity. I said Hero of Antiquity was going to be a very, very good card. No one wanted to believe me because everyone wanted to mean, oh, but he's just a shitty Fangblade. No, this guy is basically the defensive version of Fangblade, and is really, really good in control. Whereas like Fangblade is really, really good in aggressive and mid-range strategies. And for me, from playing Dragon has a lot of high HP total, has a lot of high HP creatures. And honestly, the biggest and the most broken thing in this game, well, when I say most broken, I use that like really, really loosely, is that high HP total creatures are honestly some of the scariest things they'll see in the game, just because once you reach like past like 5 or 6 HP, you get really fucking hard to kill without like hard removal. Like, for example, a lot of times it's not uncommon for you to go ahead and slam down Genesis versus people, and then they just take 14 from the Genesis because they physically can't remove it, or for you to play Bahamut and then have people like have nothing to do to it just because like 13 HP is a lot of fucking HP. And in this case for Hero has 10 to 12 HP before trades, and so he'll usually be at like 8 HP or more. And usually one of the arguments I'll hear is that, oh, just use the Dance of Death or just Themis, bro. But you can't actually answer Hero that way. You have to answer him honestly. You have to either find a way to trade enough guys into him in the same turn before Albert comes down, or you have to have a banish for him. But like there's only 3 cards in the game that can just like straight up like indiscriminately banish the hero, and that's Odin, Lightning Blast, and an Acolyte's Light. However, none of those cards are played, like because they're all like not that good, because you basically skip your turn to remove their threat, and then Albert comes down and then you die anyway. You just kind of feel bad about that. Another one I was pretty spot on for was Illusionist. Now, Illusionist is really nice, and I'm really glad that actually I'm seeing more and more people start playing around with the card, because like being able to recycle your taboos is actually really really fucking scary, because dealing with 1 taboos is already hard enough. Dealing with 2 is usually backbreaking. But when you have to deal with up to 5 taboos in a game, that's pretty what the fuck do I do? Because if you're a board-based strategy, all of those taboos guarantee that you will never ever get to come back on the board. Another one that I was pretty correct on, it was Dragon Summoner. Now, Dragon Summoner, a lot of people are like, oh, well, Dragon Summoner can search itself. That makes it shit. No, Dragon Summoner is actually really good, because in Ramp Dragon, you actually don't run that many Dragon-based followers, just because the majority of the Dragon-based followers in the game kind of suck. You only run Forte. Sorry, not Forte. Well, I guess Forte is on that list, but the primary ones that you run are additional copies of Dragon Summoner, which is still fine because you're still thinning out your deck, and that's kind of what you want, so that way you can see better cards. Ayala, who's a pain in the ass to kill, just because people don't understand when to kill her. Rahab, again, another pain in the ass, because he's a 5 HP ward, and if you get the nut draw of if you get to go Oracle on 2 going first into Rahab on 3, that's really hard for people to deal with. Sybil, who's you see the trend here, really annoying as fuck to deal with, and then Oro, the king of annoying as fuck to deal with, and so Dragon Summoner gives you that consistency of being able to see one of those cards, because 6 of those 8 to 10 cards will actually ramp you as well. So she kind of like helps you like further your game plan. Like a consistent turn 5 Sybil is actually pretty gross. Are there any other cards? Oh, I also said Snow White would be ridiculous, and I was correct about that. Like, I believe I said both Snow White as well as March Hare's Tea Time were both going to be ridiculous. A lot of people doubted me about Snow White, but like, But in Hearthstone, there's actually a card called Totem Golem. Totem Golem is basically all of what Snow White is, except you get all the stats all at once, and that's honestly one of the cards that people hate the most in that game, just because it's so hard to deal with it. Like, and of course, Snow White is no exception here. Like, Snow White is actually even better in my opinion, because sure, the overall stats are like backloaded. However, you can do a lot more with Snow White than you can with Totem Golem. But yeah, that's all the questions for this week. I wanted to keep going. However, I have a ton of questions and things to talk about, so I'll go ahead and be talking about this next week. However, I will actually go ahead and just start the recording for next week now, and just go ahead and try to have that out by like Thursday of next week. Yeah. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I know that this was like a little bit shorter than what it usually is. However, if I talked about all of these, then we would actually be here for 2 hours, because yes, in my initial run through of this video, it was actually an hour and 45 minutes long, and I don't think any of you guys want to sit and listen to me talk for an hour and 45 minutes. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and cut it here. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Go ahead and leave any questions that they might want me to talk about and ask Nanjiroh down in the comments below, or you can go ahead and post them to me on Twitter or anything like that, and I'll go ahead and talk about them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Peace.